As we told you earlier in the show and last week and for years, Tennessee and Josh Heupel's offense averages 45 points in Neyland Stadium, 42 in a neutral site. But it drops to 31 points a game on the road, and it's going to drop further. I just didn't do the math at 3 a.m., but it's going to drop further after a 25-point game yesterday. So I want to ask the VFL and have them debate this. Do they feel the same questions continue about this offense when it goes on the road? Will Overstreet, take it away.
So, yeah, John. So, I mean, you have to look at this and go, okay, so what have they done, right? We see the Florida game last year. You see the South Carolina game a couple years ago. You see the Missouri game. So all of those are sticking in your head, and then you see a game last night.
Painful.
Right? And all of those are on the road.
Right, so I think about that.
All of those. So, Daniel, when you think about that, what is your comfort level with this offense being able to go on the road? You got coming up to Arkansas in a couple of weeks, that kind of game on the road. You know, how do you feel about this offense? Have they gotten over the hurdle, or is this still a question mark of trouble?
I think this is definitely still a question mark, especially with the two strip fumbles against Oklahoma. The only little hope that I have is that this defense travels. And I think these road games are more about you got to have better players. And Tennessee's finally got that elite talent. Yeah. And that's where I've got a little confidence there, but you still got to go prove it right now.
What do you think it is, Sterl, like that there is that struggle on the road? Because sometimes it's against lesser talent. It's not against, the same level of talent, but they've struggled in some games like that. Why do you think that offense has a little more struggles on the road right now?
Well, coming from a quarterback's perspective, and a problem that I didn't have was people hearing me on the field. And now you got that anger, loudness against you on the road. Mm-hmm. And our offense is a lot of moving parts. And when we try to go fast, everybody's got to be on the same page. And somebody might not hear a check or a different play that you have to get out to the receivers or tight end, the running back, or slide the line. And now you got that noise that we created kneeling to the other teams now coming to us when we go there. And sometimes with this offense having to be so precise during the entire game, one move different knocks the whole play off and could be negative to us sometimes.
So do you think then that's always going to be for this offense kind of the struggle of, hey, when we're on the road, we're not the same offense as we're at home?
Well, there are things to do to practice and prepare for that. Mm-hmm. So you need noise in practice and more and more influx in the quarterback's voice and even signs and signals. So that's what I think. And then we get that honed, we'll get more points on the board on the road.
And I guess it makes it tougher when you have substitutions because, right, once you practice with a group, you've got on the same page, you have your signals, but all of a sudden a receiver goes out and it's the backup receiver that you've had less practice time with. Now, does he know the signals? Does he get the things the same, checks the same way? I think that can become that pressure. It just takes one guy being off, and that play's not working.
And I think there's also just the human element, too. I mean, we've seen USC go to Michigan yesterday and get beat. When you're traveling time zones, you're going on a plane, what does it look like when they get off the plane? Are they working out? What's their food schedule? Like, all these things are coming into play, and it just seems like with the offense, it's gotten them thrown off.
Yeah, so, John, I think the real question when we talk about this here is it's still a problem. It's still something that we say, hey, it's a work in progress. And it's always going to have a little bit more struggles on the road just because of that level of communication. And so it's just, but I think as we get more mature quarterback play and he grows up a little bit, that will help with some of this. But it's still one of those things you look at and go, we're not the exact same offense on the road as we are at home.
Yeah, and we spoke yesterday on the Saturday show, and you can see it on YouTube. We talked to Ollie Lane, who was on that line last year, and he admitted there were some silent count issues that they had. I think one of the things you get into when a big advantage of this offense, maybe the biggest advantage of this offense, is that tempo. Well, when you're having to everybody get on the same page, turn around, see if a guy's raising his leg to snap it, that doesn't allow you to fire off the ball the way you can. It doesn't allow you to get up there and go to the line as you do at home. So I don't know that this does get fixed completely anywhere in the future simply because tempo, to me, seems to be the biggest advantage you have. And when you're having to get everybody on the same page in a loud environment like that, and you can't just yell the call, say snap it, everybody goes, I think that's going to continue to haunt you a little bit. We'll see. When we come back, let's play Will They or Won't They. With the remaining games on the schedule, we'll see if some guys break records at Tennessee. Come on back.